Welcome you all to this lecture. It constitutes the fifth one related to the fifth week to the course title, that is History of Arabic Literature. We'll be concluding the Arabic literature in Spain in this lecture, focusing on certain aspects of sciences, scientific literature. It will be dealing chiefly with the scientific literature which has been produced in Arabic in Andalusia. So it will be focusing on the contribution of Andalusia to the domain of Arabic literature in realms of sciences. And by sciences, here we simply mean the experimental sciences, sciences proper, not the religious sciences or philosophical sciences, rather proper sciences like medicine and scientific literature, aviation, etc. Andalusia has given us a significant number of scholars in the domain of medicine. At the first level, there were the Atibba, the Hukama, who had gone to Andalusia from the east as part of the first enforcements, scientific enforcement, as we must recollect that anything related to Arabic and Arabic as literature and Islam as religion, Islamic faith as religion, anything related to Arabic in this sequence, when located for the first time at the earliest stage, when it is located in with the Iberian Peninsula, in the Iberian Peninsula, it must be supposed that the first generation represented the scholars, the persons, and their contributions who had migrated, who had settled in Iberian Peninsula from the east. So they were part of this cultural march from east towards west. Andalusia has given us a large number of scholars of medicine, of the physicians. أبو الحكم الكرماني، أبو السلط، أبو جعفر الغافقي، أبو جعفر بن هارون الترجالي، ابن أبي الحكم، ابن البيطار، ابن الذهبي، ابن الرقام الأوسي، ابن باجة، ابن جلجل، ابن رشد، ابن زهر. Ibn Juljul happens to be the foremost historian among the physicians, who has given us his significant book, that is عيون الأنباء في تاريخ الأطباء. It gives an account of the physicians who had entered the field of medical sciences in the Middle Ages. Ibn Bajjah, Ibn Rushd was also, he was a philosopher, he was a man of letters, he was a jurist, especially in regard to his book, that is بداية المجتهد ونهاية المقتصد. بداية المجتهد ونهاية المقتصد, in the domain of fiqh. And of course, we have known him as a philosopher, especially while writing تحفة التحفة. تحفة التحفة, alongside تلخيص الخطابة. تلخيص الخطابة of Aristotle, alongside reading some books on the scholastic theme like فصل المقال. فصل المقال فيما بين العقل والشريعة من الاتصال. But of course, he is also known as a foremost physician, طبيب or حكيم, whose kulliyat in, as the medical terminology, stands for the compendium of a physician in regard to the ulum al-tibb, or the practice of tibb, in terms of principles, in terms of prescriptions, in terms of materia medica, etc. So Ibn Rushd is also credited with a very prominent contribution in this domain in Arabic, alongside Ibn Zuhr, Ibn Tufail, Ibn Tumlus, Ibn Wafid, حسداي ibn Shabrut, Abbas ibn Firnas, Lisanuddin ibn al-Khatib, Mahmud ibn Aslam al-Ghafiqi. They were also known as the Atibba. So their works are well known, and their works constitute the grand domain of contribution in the as related to the medical sciences in the history of Islam, chiefly in the literature which has been produced in Arabic, because we have a number of physicians from the Muslim world who had enriched the academy, enriched the scientific domain alongside other domains of sciences in East, in Arabic as well as in Persian and other languages. Sometimes they happen to be bilingual, as we find in case of Ibn Sina, he was a bilingual. Also in case of Imam Ghazali, he was bilingual. Some of his books being he has written chiefly in Arabic, while some of his books have been written primarily in Persian. So this corpus, this legacy, constitutes the significant part of the Muslim contribution in the domain of medical sciences in Arabic. The second theme is the mathematics. Andalusia had seen a large number of mathematicians, and by mathematicians we simply mean the mathematicians, not other scholars who simply contributed their some of the tracts in domains, in themes which are not purely mathematical. So in the mathematical sciences we have Abul Hasan Ali al-Qalsadi, Abu Salat, Abu al-Fadl ibn Hasdai, Asbagh al-Muhri, Ibrahim ibn Sa'id al-Sahli, Ibrahim ibn Yahya Zarqali, Ibn Raqam al-Awsi, Ibn al-Haim al-Ishbili, Ibn Bajja, Ibn Muaz al-Jayani, Jabr ibn Aflah, Ibn Sa'id al-Andalusi, Fatima al-Majratiya, Lubna al-Qurtabiyya, Ya'ish ibn Ibrahim al-Amawi. They were the very foremost mathematicians we have in Spain, in Andalusia, contributing to the field in Arabic. Glimpses of some of their books we'll be just having. Then we have the scholars known for their contributions in the field of Falakiyat, Al-Hayya or Nujum. Sometimes it's also known as Al-Hayya, Al-Nujum. Al-Hayya, Al-Nujum, Al-Falakiyat, sometimes simply Al-Falak or Al-Falakiyat. Well, in modern parlance, it could be something like a study of the astrophysics, anything that is related to the space, the outer world from this planet. So here again we'll be having a large number of scholars, of scientists. Abu Ishaq al-Bitruji, very significant name. Abu al-Salat, Asbagh al-Mahri, Ibrahim ibn Sa'id al-Sahli, Ibrahim ibn Yahya al-Zarqali, Ibn al-Hammad, Ibn Raqam al-Awsi, Ibn al-Saffar, Ibn al-Haym al-Ishbili, Ibn Bajja, Ibn Rushd, Ibn Tufail, Ibn Muaz al-Jayani, Jabr ibn Aflah, Zulaima al-Falakiyya, Ali ibn Khalaf al-Andalusi, among many others. The point which might we must not ignore it. We must be aware of the fact that the disciplines related to sciences, chiefly the medical sciences or experimental sciences, during the Middle Ages, they were not as well defined in terms of specializations, specifications. Their classification of the themes has to be different from the similar themes compared to the themes in other classified as themes of other disciplines, because sometimes we find that we mistake certain things to be belonging to a specific domain, although they are they are related nowadays in modern parlances as per the modern specifications and points of reference. They belong to another discipline. Of course, because of some gray areas or shared areas, overlapping areas. I think the word overlapping would be proper for this. So we'll be having that there are some overlapping areas that are common in all the sciences, chiefly experimental sciences. So since the medieval classification of sciences were very much inclusive in their nature. The classifications were very much inclusive, not exclusive. So they focused on the parameters, focused on the scientists, focused on approaching the theme, the scientific theme, in a plethora of perspectives, sometimes overlapping each other. So because of this overlapping space or the common part, rather common parts in the similar disciplines, we find that they happen to be the encyclopedic persons. They happen to be encyclopedic in contrast to what we find in modern times. We are, because of the specifications, specializations, well-defined borders, well-defined core, corpus and borders of each and every science. We have well-defined parameters. We have definitions. We have the practical aspect as to be different from the others. But during the Middle Ages, things were not so well defined as we have in modern times. That's why they happen to be encyclopedic. That's why we find that whether it is Ibn Rushd or Ibn Tufail or Ibn Baj, they happen to be encyclopedic figures with contributions in all the disciplines, scientific, mathematical, that is medical, philosophical, of course, philosophical, literary, as well as related to social sciences and of course literature. Sometimes they happen to be they were also the celebrated poets, so they actually presented that encyclopedic nature of sciences, of concerns in their writings. Al-Batroji was a very noted man of Al-Hay'a or An-Nujum. His Kitab al-Hay'a is a very significant book. This book was translated from Arabic into Hebrew and then from into Latin, and this was was published in Vienna way back in 1531. So this is the creator. He was such a celebrated scientist, a scholar of astrophysics, as we can use this term for him in modern parlances. Of course, in relation to the medieval standards, that a crater in the moon has been named after him. And in the European literature, he is known as Alpetragios. Is this Alpetragios? Is the Latinized form of Al-Batroji. Jabr ibn Aflah was again a very celebrated scientist in this domain. He had compiled, he has written 9 tracts, 9 books in Al-Falak or Falakiyat. These 9 books have been, this compendium of 9 books or tracts have been translated by Gerard de Cremoni in 1533 into Latin. And his Torquetum is a very well-known instrument. This is a scientific instrument used for the measurement of the planets, the distances between the planets, etc. During the Middle Ages. So Jabr ibn Aflah's Turkicium is a very well-known example of the scientific instruments invented during the Middle Ages, and the credit goes to Jabr ibn Aflah. Ibrahim ibn Sa'id al-Sahli, again, this is the astrolabe, al-Ustarlab as it is known, astrolabe, al-Ustarlab. Al-Ustarlab was a medieval instrument for measurement of the movement of stars, distance of stars and planets used during the Middle Ages. It had different versions and it was a well-defined, it was a very well acclaimed discipline in East, which then in the wake of translations, the translation movement, it went to Europe. So this is present in the Florence Museum, in the Museum of Florence, the astrolabe of Ibrahim ibn Sa'id al-Sahli. Al-Zarqali, we have mentioned Al-Zarqali. He was one of the very celebrated scientists in this domain of astrophysics, as we can say, or falakiyat or nujum. This is again one of his one of the well-known astrolabe, al-Ustarlab, the astrolabe of Al-Zarqali. So these are not the prototypes. No, it's not like that, or the some images or imitations. Rather, these are the actual instruments which has come down to us from the Middle Ages. In the domain of the general sciences, called the scientists, the domain of scientists, Abu Ishaq al-Batroji, Abu al-Hasan al-Qalsadi, Abu Bakr al-Turtushi, Abu Bakr ibn al-Jidd, Abu Bakr ibn al-Sayrafi, Abu Hayyan al-Gharnati, Abu Abdullah al-Siqilli, Abu Osman Sa'id ibn al-Hakam al-Qurashi, Amatur Rahman ibn Ahmad al-Abasi. So it must be noted that we do have some females too in this domain. Ibn Arfa' Rasuhu, Ibn al-Baytar, Ibn al-Rumiya, Ibn al-Saffar, Ibn al-Awwam, Ibn al-Faradi, Ibn al-Munasif, Ibn Bassal, also Ibn Khaldun, Ibn Khalaf al-Muradi, Ibn Zarqun, Ibn Tumlus, Ibn Atiyah, Ibn Liyun, Ibn Mu'az al-Jayani, Ibn Huzail, Ibn Hisham al-Idrisi, al-Hussein al-Jayani, al-Qazi Ayaz, al-Taghnari, al-Mu'tamir ibn Hud, al-Munzir ibn Sa'id al-Balloti, al-Waqashi, Jabir ibn Aflah, خشخاش ibn Sa'id ibn Aswad, Khitab al-Mawardi, Ziyad ibn Abd al-Rahman, Talib ibn Asma, Abbas ibn Farnas, of course, very well-known name, celebrated name in the domain of aviation. Maslam al-Majriti, Muhyiddin al-Maghribi, Muhammad ibn Abdun, Muhammad ibn Sa'ad, Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr al-Zuhri, Fatima al-Majritiya, another significant name, Musa ibn Maymun, Musa ibn Maymun. So we will be having all the names of all these scholars, the scientists of generally very much celebrated scientists with their contributions. They have contributed to this domain of to the domain of sciences in Arabic tremendously, with lots of books which have been described in full details by the historians of the sciences, alongside their contributions being in print form, and the published books, some of which have been translated into Latin as well as other languages during the heydays of translation movement in Andalusia, whether it was the School of Toledo or Salerno or Padua, as these three very prominent schools are well known in history with lots of a number of translators associated with them, alongside the schools as if find for E-School of Paris, as well as some schools in England during the Middle Ages. Abbas ibn Farnas, who has been identified with Armen Firman, Armen Firman in the classical, in the uh, books, some of the books, reference where the reference has been made to Armen Firman without giving much details how to identify this person. But according to some analysis, this Armen Firman was nothing but the Abbas ibn Firnas in Arabic. So it was like the Latin corruption of the Arabic name, Latinization of the Arabic name, as we have seen in regard to Ibn Rushd. Like Ibn Rushd becomes Averroes, Ibn Sina becomes Avicenna, Al-Batroji becomes Al-Petragios, and so on and so forth. We'll be having so many names, so many examples are over there. So Armen Firman was Abbas ibn Firnas. He's credited with the early experimentation of like flying with some wings attached to the humans, and the Madinat al-Zahra. It has been recorded by the historians that Madinat al-Zahra, which is a Platine city, the city meant for the rulers, for the elite class, for the chamberlains, for the wazirs. Madinat al-Zahra. It is known as Az-Zahra. Madinat as Az-Zahra still today. It has been excavated, and now it is a very famous archaeological site in Spain. So it is said that it has been recorded that Abbas ibn Firnas had his flying experimentation in this city that happens to be seated on the slope of in a bed of a mountain, slope and bed of a mountain. So it was a very suitable place for doing experimentations like this. In Cordoba, we'll be having some important places named after Abbas ibn Firnas, like Jisr Abbas ibn Firnas, or this that is bridge named after him, Abbas ibn Firnas. There's a crater named after crater on the moon named after Abbas ibn Firnas crater. It is known as Ibn Firnas crater. So all these things, like the craters being named after the Muslim scientists of Spain, alongside many other scientists from East Arabia, that is relating to the Abbasid times or among the Arabs, and some other scientists related to, located as of now, to Central Asian region, Mawara al-Nahr, in countries, rather modern countries, modern political boundaries, we'll be finding in Uzbekistan, as well as chiefly Uzbekistan, in cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, Tashkent, etc. So scholars belonging to these regions will be having that many craters have been named after them. So this actually showcases the grandeur of scientific scene, which has been codified, which has been recorded in Arabic, constituting a grand part of the overall human contribution to the development of sciences during the Middle Ages. And of course, it is not simply as a case of an isolated case of influence, which was limited to the Middle Ages. But since the Arabic scientific literature has played significant role via translation into the, it has played role in the very idea of European Renaissance. This was augmented, this was extended via translation and dissemination of the knowledge of Arabic philosophy, Arabic scholastic philosophy, Arabic scientific thinking, Arabic natural sciences, etc. Even in the domain of literature and literary enterprise, as we have in the domain of Qissa Tahyi ibn Yaqdan, as we have seen in that, the fiction, as well as poetry, as we find in the poetry of the troubadours, in line with Al-Muashahat and Al-Ajal al-Andalusia. So it actually outlines a significant aspect of history, European history, that cannot be seen in isolation of the Arabic scientific literature, Arabic wisdom and Arabic philosophy, which was translated into European languages, chiefly Latin, and which was disseminated into the Western wisdom, Western legacy of sciences, which in due course of time has been developed and then transferred to East in modern times, when the European or the Western model of sciences, literature, social sciences became part of the curricula, all the pedagogical levels, part of the curricula in East, in universities and colleges, in a role which was played together by the imperialist expansionism, which was, of course, which cannot be, of course, alienated from specific thought patterns related to like church or religion or religious discourse, as we find, we can simply find in the all the efforts which have been made by the European institutions working in India before independence, of course, whether it was Fort William Wallace's contributions of translation, translating the Indian legacy into their languages, and vice versa. So, or the introduction of the European model of education, of thought, culture, scientific paradigms, etc., to East. So, in this way, we'll be finding that there's a continuity, it's a historical continuity. And in this historical continuity of the sciences, the Arabic sciences, which were the Arabic literature in related to the sciences, which was produced, of course, in Arabic alongside the Persian, a segment of which its role has its role cannot be sidelined, cannot be minimized, and of course it has been supported by, acknowledged and supported by historians. George Sarton's History of Science acknowledges this link between the corpus of science, general corpus of science, with the Arab legacy. And of course, we'll be finding so many other scientists, other historians of sciences acknowledging this. So with this, we are concluding this lecture related to the Arab contribution to history of the sciences, domain of sciences and history of sciences in Arabic, of course, related to the Andalusian period. Thank you.